Well guys, here we go. It has been a while. It has been a long wait, but training camp is finally here for the Cleveland Browns, which means the ride with Shedeur Sanders throughout training camp is here. And today the Browns unveiled their new alternate helmet, which kind of failed because the dude wipes thing and the guy just wiped out into leg area. That was hilarious when they tried to uncover the inflatable helmet. But nonetheless, it is just an exciting time to be a Browns fan. There is going to be so much news, so much coverage, and just so much to talk about throughout the next few weeks as we watch Shedeur and the Browns quarterback battle kind of happen and kind of unravel throughout training camp. But yeah, man, today was the first day and we got to see some guys doing drills, working on ball security. We got to see 11 on 11, so there is a lot to talk about. But first, before I begin, real quick, I would really appreciate it if you all did a big favor, hit that like button and also subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind, and your support truly means the world. Alright, so as I've been talking about for the last few months, and I'm sure all you guys know, the Browns are going into this camp with about 4 quarterbacks in the room. Really, it's 5, but it's a 4-man competition because Deshaun Watson is now out of the picture. It's between Kenny Pickett, DILLON, Gabriel, Joe Flacco, and Shedeur Sanders, and all 4 of them got in work. And I know the Browns and the coaching staff kind of already released the initial depth chart and where everyone is kind of ranked. And right now it is Kenny Pickett and Flacco and Gabriel at the top. And then Shedeur Sanders is in that 4th spot. But I don't think it's really any strict sort of pecking order. I think it's going to shift day in and day out and everyone is going to get their opportunity. It's clear the coaches are going to rotate everyone. And the veterans are going to get the early looks early, especially when the season actually starts in week 1. I mean, there's no chance that Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders actually start the season behind center, but I would love to see them with those first team reps. One thing that has been a big talking point with Shedeur Sanders is just his presence, whether it's been in the community where he showed up to events, he's been working at restaurants, just doing a ton of things throughout the Cleveland area, but also just his demeanor. And every clip you see, Shedeur is supporting his teammates. He's been dapping up Kenny Pickett after reps, or he's been staying engaged when he's not under center. The dude just has that natural leadership aura, and I hate that word, but he's not over the top trying too hard, but it's noticeable. And yeah, those are the little things that don't show up on a stat sheet, but they matter, especially for a rookie trying to win a job and win a role in the locker room. From a football standpoint today, I know it's not like an intense practice, it's just day 1, but Shedeur looks sharp. During early warm-ups and positional drills, he was working with the running backs like Jerome Ford and Strong and Sampson. I know Judkins still is not signed, but he was making some smooth handoffs and showing clean mechanics. Even just the way he tucks his off arm in during play action, it's a small thing, but it stood out, and it's about making it harder for defenders at the 2nd level and 3rd levels to read what's coming. And these are little details that show he's coachable and is putting in work to get better, and he's truly listening to what's being said. Now, let's be real, the ball tap is something that people love to nitpick about, but I just feel like that critique is just so overblown. A ton of QBs do it. If it were some huge issue, then nobody would do it, and the Brown staff would have told them to cut it, but clearly they're not worried. So unless defensive backs suddenly develop superhuman reaction times off a minor motion, then let's all chill on that one for now. And same thing with DILLON Gabriel, he does it too. It's a non-issue unless it leads to actual problems on the field. It's just like in baseball, people glove tap before they make a throw, and usually it doesn't really affect them. It's just like a routine thing that makes them feel comfortable. Today, the quarterback reps themselves followed a pretty straightforward rotation in individual drills. Pickett, Flacco, Gabriel, then Sanders. That's the order for now, as I mentioned. And yeah, they'll probably open the season with a vet under center, but don't be surprised if things start to shift once real games begin. I'd argue it's more of a 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B situation rather than a locked-in 1, 2, 3, 4 depth chart. But either way, the reps are being distributed, and Shedeur's performance so far is giving fans a real reason to get excited. And while the quarterback battle takes center stage, it's certainly not the only story out of camp because the running back room is dealing with some questions of its own. Most notably, Quinshon Judkins hasn't reported and remains unsigned. It's just a whole sad thing. Like the way they treated Nick Chubb and then the way that Judkins just did what he did in Florida, while his buddy Travion Henderson is just a good dude and we passed on him. The Browns are just going to continue to be the Browns, but that whole situation is still clouded with rumors of a court date hanging over him. And Kevin Stefanski didn't mince his words either. He made it clear the team doesn't want distractions, and as of now, it doesn't look like Judkins will be showing up anytime soon. So the reps are going to Ford, Strong, and Sampson, and then a few others on the back end of the depth chart. And for a team that traditionally leans on the run a lot, even though I know Kevin Stefanski loves the pass and sometimes falls in love with it, that's a position to watch closely as camp rolls on. But back to Shedeur, he was impressing in other drills too. The placement of his throws has been arguably the best of the group so far. It's not about throwing the hardest ball or showing off arm strength. It's about hitting guys in stride, putting the ball where it needs to be and operating with control. That's been his game so far, and even if he's repping against second team defenses, it still matters. These are the building blocks of a future starter, and while he may not win the job right away, it wouldn't be a shock to see him take over a year later or even some point in the season, because you know fans are going to be chanting his name. And as I kind of talked about, when it comes to handing off the ball and going through basic quarterback mechanics, you can already see improvement. Shedeur's cleaned up a lot of his small habits and continued to look more polished each day, and that tells me that he's been locked in behind the scenes. Anyways, now let's talk tight ends. David Njoku wasn't at practice. He was excused for personal reasons, but his absence opened the door wide open for rookie Harold Fannin Jr., a guy that I am super excited about to make some noise, and he did just that. Fannin was a third-round pick, and he's been moving well through drills, showing good chemistry with the quarterbacks, especially DILLON Gabriel, and he's not alone either. Blake Weinhart, Brendan Bates, and Sal Cannella are also repping hard. Cannella is a former Auburn Tiger who played in the XFL, and he's a name to watch if this depth chart gets tested in season, but make no mistake, if Fannin keeps flashing like this, he might be more than just a backup by the time the season starts. On the defensive side, Jordan Hicks was another notable absence. He was also excused for personal reasons. It's not ideal to have veterans missing early, but the Browns have depth there. Devin Bush and Carson Swetzinger have stepped up in the role, and while he's had an up and down career, there's no denying his athleticism. And let's not forget about Jerome Baker. He's going to be trying to carve out a big role for himself, and he's also a guy that brings versatility to this linebacker room. So yeah, it's next man up for now, but the Browns are at least equipped to handle a few absences without panicking. Following today's practice, we got to hear a few of the key players speak to the media about how the day went. So here were some of the highlights from that.
Positive. I think guys are looking forward to get on the field, prove themselves, and just getting better each and every day.
How do you enter? It's year 9, so how do you enter the camp with expectations for yourself and this team?
Expectations are higher than ever. Expect to bounce back from last year, myself and defensively and as a team. So the standard doesn't change, or at least it doesn't lower. It just raises and improves. I think we have guys who are older, understand both sides of the coin. Come from a really good season, come from a really bad season, it can happen just like that. So you've got to take that into account every single day when you're training and getting to know your guys. The margins for this game are very thin.
His other previous training camps you've had with him, do you feel anything like that right now?
No, definitely. Just like you said, we ramping up. There's no ramp up. We getting straight to it, ready to get to work, and it's gonna start fast. So it's not really a ramp up, and I like it. It's all about the work and working hard and pushing it to the limit, to the max. And shoot, that's what we're here to do.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point. I know there wasn't a ton of Shedeur Sanders footage, and I know that's what a lot of you guys are interested in, so I'm probably going to make a second video at some point kind of breaking down his day solely, so that for you Shedeur fans, you can just have a video all about him, because I know he's going to be in the spotlight over the next few months. It's going to be insane. I don't even know how he handles all the pressure and just all the media attention. It's crazy, but he's been composed and he's been great so far, so I'm excited to see how this all plays out. But yeah, thank you all for your continued support. Let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.